Are you planning to take the Cambridge Assessment English Test as a part of your university entrance? Cambridge Eiken, as it is called in Japan, has a long history as a well-recognized English fluency certification test in Japan. Cambridge Assessment English tests are comprised of a series of different levels of English tests. Many Japanese high school students are, I imagine, taking B1 primary and B2 first. B2 first is previously known as FCE, and some Japanese test takers may think it a little bit too advanced for them, particularly if they are not used to its format. The name of the test, B2, of course refers to the level of proficiency framework used in the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. If you want to know the criteria falling under B2, I suggest that you visit the relevant website, which is also available in Japanese. It is referred to as CEFR, or Yoruba Gengo Kyotsu Sanshowaku in Japanese. For reference, Eiken Jin Ikkyu is believed to be also under B2. Today, I'm here to talk about the Cambridge Assessment English, in particular B2 First English Writing, Paper 2, Part 1. Part 1 is a mandatory question, while in Part 2 there are 3 questions from which you choose one. In total, for the 2 writings, you will be given 1 hour and 20 minutes. So you should spend about 40 minutes for this compulsory Part 1 composition program. I will discuss the writing Part 2 question in a separate video. Cambridge Assessment is a very established English fluency test recognized internationally, including in Japan. It is one of 7 independent English tests approved by the Japanese Ministry of Culture and Education for university entrance examination starting from 2020. It tests all 4 skills of English proficiency, including reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Today, I want to present one writing problem with a sample answer from B2 first. These are independent of the testing institution, Cambridge English Language Assessment, and they are not endorsed by the institution. Sample problem. Now, this is a sample problem. You can view the original problem on the Cambridge Assessment English website. You must answer this question. Write your answer in 140 to 190 words in an appropriate style on the separate answer sheet. In your English class, you have been talking about the environment. Now your English teacher has asked you to write an essay. Write an essay using all the notes and give reasons for your point of view. Every country in the world has problems with pollution and damage to the environment. Do you think these problems can be solved? Notes. Write about 1. Transport, 2. Rivers and seas, 3. Your own idea. Based on the requirements for the program, the essay can be roughly divided into 30 words for the introduction, 40 words each for body 1, body 2, and body 3, and 20 words for the conclusion, making it the total word count of 170. Of course, this is just a guide, but once you are set with this structure, you can get down to business and write your essay. Preparation. Before you start writing, you should first take some time to organize your thoughts and make a plan. What is the general topic given for the essay? It's about environmental pollution. And what is the question? Do I think the problem with pollution and damage to the environment in many countries can be solved? Let's consider some problems and possible solutions in connection to the question. 2 discussion points are already given, and I have to add another for the 3rd point. Once I have done that, then I can decide on my position and make a thesis statement whether I believe that these problems can be solved or not. Introduction paragraph. This is one example of an introduction paragraph. Many countries have various pollution problems causing damage to the environment. Although solving these problems is difficult, I believe they can be eliminated. 23 words. In the introduction paragraph, you can achieve two things. First, introduce the topic of your essay. Often it involves paraphrasing the text given in the problem directions. Second, state your position, directly answering the question asked. The directions say that your English teacher has asked you to write an essay. Therefore, the writing style must be formal, meaning you should start with an introduction paragraph, as is the norm for this type of document. You should decide your proposition, whether you agree to a question statement or not, based on which arguments are easier to write about. Body 1 paragraph. To begin with, air pollution caused by cars can be contained. For example, years ago in Japan, air quality was poor because of dirty gases. Then the government introduced more stringent laws and regulations to regulate exhaust emissions. As a result, cars now release less harmful gases into the atmosphere, resulting in cleaner air. 54 words. The body is the core of the essay. It is best divided into 3 paragraphs in this case. If possible, try to connect the first, second, and third points in a logical flow with keywords, transition words, or referencing. Write a topic sentence for each body paragraph, which is often a short and general introduction, so that you can add evidence or several explanatory and supporting texts. Body 2 paragraph. Another problem is water pollution. Factories may drain wastewater effluent into the rivers. For instance, in the past, we witnessed Minamata disease, a disorder caused by mercury disposed of into a river by a chemical factory. These days, thanks to stringent penalties and education, this type of pollution has been reduced. 52 words. Body 2. Start with a topic sentence similar to Body 1. When the topic smoothly and logically flows over into Body 2, perhaps by using a keyword or concept mentioned in Body 1, no transition word is necessary, but perhaps include a connecting sentence that connects the idea in Body 1 with the idea that is to be introduced in Body 2. If the idea in Body 2 is rather unrelated to that in Body 1, start the topic sentence using a transition word, such as also, secondary, in addition, etc. Each paragraph should always focus on one idea introduced by the topic sentence. Do not branch out into other unrelated issues. Body 3 paragraph. Food pollution by agricultural chemicals is also a problem. The use of chemicals to grow crops is widespread, and it can have long-lasting and damaging effects on the environment and humans. However, due to public education and regulations, some people are already addressing this issue and starting to introduce more environmentally friendly farming methods. 53 words. Body 3. The notes for Body 2 apply to Body 3 introduce the third point in Body 3. In this case, I decided to write about food pollution. Conclusion paragraph. In conclusion, problems related to environment pollution can be solved in due time. 13 words. Conclusion. The conclusion paragraph should serve to conclude the essay decisively. Do not introduce any new points. The conclusion is like the bottom bun of a hamburger. Without it, everything falls apart. It should conclude your argument nice and tightly. It's an easy part of the essay. You have already stated almost everything you have to say, so now you just have to sum up your essay. I used in conclusion to conclude, but of course there are a number of other ways to write to that effect. In the conclusion paragraph, a must-have sentence is the one that reaffirms your position which you have already presented in the introduction paragraph. The only thing you need to do here is to paraphrase it. Whole passage. Summing up, the whole essay will read as follows. Many countries have various pollution problems causing damage to the environment. Although solving these problems is difficult, I believe they can be eliminated. To begin with, air pollution caused by cars can be contained. For example, years ago in Japan, air quality was poor because of dirty gases. Then the government introduced more stringent laws and regulations to regulate exhaust emissions. As a result, cars now release less harmful gases into the atmosphere, resulting in cleaner air. Another problem is water pollution. Factories may drain wastewater effluent into the rivers. For instance, in the past, we witnessed Minamata disease, a disorder caused by mercury disposed of into a river by a chemical factory. These days, thanks to stringent penalties and education, this type of pollution has been reduced. Food pollution by agricultural chemicals is also a problem. The use of chemicals to grow crops is widespread, and it can have long-lasting and damaging effects on the environment and humans. However, due to public education and regulations, some people are already addressing this issue and starting to introduce more environmentally friendly farming methods. In conclusion, problems related to environment pollution can be solved in due time. Cambridge Assessment B2 First is not an easy test for many Japanese high school students. However, it is a good test worth taking. If you find the information in this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. At Maya Eikawa School, we have native English speakers who are well qualified to teach you English and guide you through to passing the Cambridge B2 First test. Thank you for watching.